Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com with random reviews. And as you can see, I'm starting to get these things put away. There we go. We're filling the shelves up, and as I fill them up, I'm discovering random stuff that I like to talk about because it's just fun to go through what's in here. I have some really good stuff in here. I like this one particularly. This is the complete Tom Lehrer collection. Yeah, this is one of my treasures because my mother had the original Tom Lehrer discs that, one of her professors was like Tom Lehrer's college roommate, and she had the originals, and I grew up with them, and now here they all are on CD. And I don't think it's around anymore. It was on Rhino Records, called The Remains of Tom Lehrer. And, what the heck? Let's talk about it. Well, we don't have to talk about it, but it's there. It's there. And it's wonderful, and I can sing every single song on it by heart. All the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon as we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park. When they see us coming, the birdies all try and hide, but they still go for peanuts when coated with cyanide. Oh, I could go on forever, and you wouldn't want me to. Let's talk about some classics. Well, he's a classic. My God, those songs are classics. Bruckner Symphony No. 5 with Claudio Abbado. This is one of the best of Abbado's Bruckners and one of the best Bruckner fifths. It's a little bit on the light side, a little bit on the swift side, which is actually good for a symphony that has sort of a major case of elephantosis. It really, really works well, and it's a beautiful performance. So that's all I have to say about it. I've talked about it before, and I think that, if you've heard it, you'll know it's really good, and if you haven't, then you really ought to. It's the best of Abbado because, see, here's the thing with Abbado. We all know he was kind of a micromanager, and he liked to do things that were kind of light and fluffy, but he was wonderful with works that had built-in heaviness and that benefited from some of the attention to detail and some of the tendency to aerate textures that his performances often entailed. And this is one of those cases. It's really wonderful to hear the piece played in a kind of lean and sleek way instead of one of those heavy-duty German adipose, Oktoberfest type things. And don't tell me Bruckner was Austrian. I don't care. It's the same difference. All right, anyway, what's next? Oh, yeah, look at this one. Bartók, Piano Concerto No. 1. These are now in the singles. I saved these singles. Everything in the world's been boxed up now, right? And you can get all of it in big, fat boxes, but I still like having these individual things. If I can find them, or if the box is buried. Now everything's buried in a bigger box, of course, because I've just moved. But still, it's wonderful having these singles because with this Piano Concerto No. 1, you get one of the all-time great music for strings, percussion, and Celesta. That's a work that's been recorded a million times and very badly, as often as not. But this one, it's with the Budapest Festival Orchestra, Iván, Fischer, and Zoltán Kocsis. It doesn't get any better. The piano part isn't solo at all. Not a bit. It does nothing in the first movement. And the second movement, it goes... It doesn't really get a lot to do. In the finale, it's sort of like jump, jump, jump. It's a pretty basic part. It's not a solo part. But Kocsis does an amazing first piano concerto, and here he is doing, I assumed, piano solo and music for strings, percussion, and Celesta, and it's just wonderful. This was on Philips back in the day, and now it's on Decca, and these went out of print really quickly, like most Kocsis recordings did. He was treated so badly by his label. These were masterful and really iconic recordings. They should never have been out of print. And here's a real fascinating rarity. Camargo, Mozart, Guarnieri, the fabulous Brazilian composer. He was the opposite of Villa-Lobos. Villa-Lobos was this sort of all over the place, like late kind of romantic, crazy, effusive, larger than life character Guarnieri was a neoclassical, neat, formally tightly written Stravinskyan. He really was. And his music is wonderful. It has a lot of the similar Brazilian influence, but it's deployed in a completely different way. And Bis has this fantastic cycle of all of his symphonies. There are like 6 of them, and they're very short. They're like 20 minutes, 22 minutes, something like that. They're not big works. They're usually in 3 movements, and they're just peppy and exciting and full of captivating ideas. And you've got the suite Villa Rica here as well, which is a delightful work. Again, 20 minutes and a billion little tiny movements. It's wonderful music. And these are fabulous performances. John Neschling with the Sao Paulo Symphony. And Bis did wonderful work. They should box all this stuff up or something, unless they already have, of course. It's fantastic, and there's more of his work, his music on the Naxos Brazilian Music Series too, and we're going to be talking about that. So this is definitely something worth looking out for, and worth hearing if you don't know Guarnieri's work. His piano concertos are wonderful too. There's a whole batch of those. They're on Naxos. I've talked about them. Go look at the reviews on ClassicsToday.com. Rather than talk about them all here, I know it's convenient and I know I'm charming and photogenic and all of that stuff. But really, it's a good thing to read the reviews because I have written about all of this stuff and you maybe get a better idea of some of it if you take a look over at ClassicsToday.com. So here we are, 3, and if you include Tom Lehrer over here, 3.5. Wonderful random reviews. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. I'm making progress. Take care.